This cake was one of the many cakes that we did last week, but it was earlier in the week, so we avoided a little bit of the Easter rush with that. The customer that ordered this cake I actually know personally, and she pretty much gave me creative freedom with the cake. She watches a lot of my videos and kind of knows my style. So her only specifications for the cake were the color scheme, that it had bows somewhere on it, and that it was just loaded with ruffles. She sent a picture for me to match the colors for the cake, and she wanted it all dusty rose. So the majority of the cake was the medium shade of dusty rose, and then there was accents of the darker pink color, and then a really, really light, almost white shade of pink. This cake was really big. It was a 10-inch cake, so I had a lot of space to do the ruffles, and since she wanted a lot of them, I decided to do the double ruffle, and then I stacked 4 different borders along the bottom just to really fill up the space that I had. And I really loved how all the shades of pink were incorporated in the bottom border and then the middle ruffles as well. Adding the bow aspect to this cake was giving me such a fit, and it should have been such a simple thing, and I was probably overthinking it because I always do that when I know who the cake is for. But I scraped a couple of the bows off probably 3 different times. I used 3 or 4 different tips, and I finally landed on the star tip here. I think it was an 18 that I used. But the first couple of tips that I used, I just didn't like how it laid since it wasn't on a flat surface and you could just really tell. And with the star tip, it just didn't show that as much. But I was happy with the final results that we landed on. I should have left those original clips in so that you guys could tell me which bows you liked better, but I was getting so annoyed with them, I just didn't want to see them anymore. I'm sure other bakers can relate to the feeling of doing a cake for someone you know and putting so much extra pressure on yourself for no reason. And I don't know why, but I do it every single time that I know the person who the cake is for. And that'll probably never change. But anyway, here's the finished cake, and I was so happy with how this one turned out, and they loved it too.